What's going on, everyone? Logan here with another watch shopping journey. Now we have a good one here today where we're hitting warehouses, antique dealers, anywhere where we can find those hidden gems. Now we found lots of unique brands that I have not heard of, as well as one that I want your opinion on whether I should go back and get. Now stay with us till the very end to see all the cool finds, and without further ado, grab your coffee and let's go shopping. So before we got to the vintage watch hunting, we made a stop and saw this Oris Pro Pilot Kermit edition. And I've only seen these online, and I know the color is an eyesore for some, but I'm still a fan and I thought it was pretty cool. Now the real hunt began at this antique store called Antique Co-op, and I used to come to this place as a kid with my parents, so it's pretty cool to learn that it used to basically be an outlet mall with a deli and shops. But heading inside, one of the first things we saw was this vintage Elvis watch. It was a three-hander with a Roman numeral bezel and a custom clasp. I couldn't find any information on it, and it was going for $20, so while it was pretty cool, it wasn't what I was looking for. So the second one that caught my eye was this Wyler. Now Wyler is a Swiss brand founded in 1896 by the Swiss brothers Paul and Alfred Wyler. Renowned for their revolutionary Incaflex system, they've actually been the inspiration for many other watch companies like Hamilton and Elgin that incorporated or adapted Wyler's shockproof concepts, often in response to the Incaflex's success. Now this next find was where it got interesting. So the whole case had several different brands and pieces, but starting out was this gold Wittnauer. The Wittnauer Watch Company was founded in 1880 in New York by Swiss immigrant Albert Wittnauer while working with his brother-in-law. In 1916, Albert died, leaving his company to his sister, Martha Wittnauer, making her the first female CEO of any major watch company. And in 1932, Amelia Earhart wore a Wittnauer AllProof wristwatch during her famous flight across the Atlantic. Now, please make fun of me in the comments because I've never heard of this next brand, and apparently it was one of the largest and most influential American watch manufacturers, and that's Elgin. Founded in Elgin, Illinois in 1864, their goal was to mass-produce precise interchangeable watches to rival Swiss imports. Their peak era came during the Roaring 20s through the 1950s, where they came out with the Lord Elgin, like this one here. Now, I did find this one pretty interesting, so I looked it up and I found it selling for around $895 in just a little better condition, and here it's selling for actually $800. However, since it's out of my price range, moving on, we saw a few of these below us today, but also quite a few of these Gruins. And after looking it up, during the 1920s and 30s, they became known as the Watch of Presidents after being worn by FDR, Truman, Eisenhower, and Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, all the ones I was interested in were several $100s out of my price range, being around $700 to $1,500. Now, I was pretty surprised by their selection, having a Le Couture, some of their vintage Hamiltons, Benrus, and Elgins. All in all, a vintage luxury feeling from this store. So the next stop was 23rd Street Antique Mall. Now, this place has discounts on everything store-wide all month long, so if you are in the area, stop by and check them out. But here we found a Longines 10-karat gold-filled automatic. Now, I cannot find this exact watch anywhere, but it's in rough condition and it does still run, so let me know in the comments if you think $265 is worth it. And after doing a little bit of research, it looks like this one is a 1960s to 70s Longines, and I found a similar one here being sold for $350. So again, let me know in the comments if you think that this is worth it, because this is one that I actually might go back and get either for a Christmas gift or for myself. Now, here's a handful of, I guess you could say, honorable mentions. These were watches that I either didn't have time to film, wasn't able to find any information on them, or they were just some fashion watches. And some of these are actually pretty interesting, so let me know if I skipped over anything worth noting, but there were also a lot of Mickey watches, and that was one thing that kind of made me rethink my purchase from my last shopping video of the Mickey watch where I spent, I believe it was $87, where I found a lot of them here for around $100, $120 for almost excellent condition. So the next stop we made was Ancient of Days, and the owner was actually telling me about how someone ran into their wall, and so now they're doing a forced renovation. So just a reminder that every day is a gift and you never know what's going to happen. But here we started out with some Hamilton pocket watches, and these were actually pretty nice. I'm not a pocket watch collector, but I really did like these, and I really liked the case that they were in too. I didn't know that they actually made cases for pocket watches, but thought that was pretty cool. Next, they had a bowl of $5 watches, so basically anything in here was $5, but I didn't find anything of value or any name brands, so after looking in there for a minute, I moved on and I really found the meat and potatoes of this store, which was these Helbros watches. So these Helbros watches, this is another brand that I'm unfamiliar with, but after looking them up, it looks like they were founded by another set of brothers in New York in 1913. They offered surprisingly good Swiss-made movements at drugstore and department store prices. They never manufactured their own movements, but excelled at stylish cases, clever marketing, and making Swiss quality affordable to the masses. They ended up being acquired by Elgin National Watch Company in 1964, then part of a larger Elgin Benrus Gruen consolidation mess. So by the 1950s, Elgin, being the largest US producer, and Benrus faced major competition by cheap imports. Gruen, while innovative, they were still US assembled with Swiss parts, so they couldn't adapt fast enough to wristwatch trends or quartz tech. These agile importers, Gruen, Benrus mainly, briefly outpaced pioneers like Waltham and Elgin, but fell to economies of scale from Asia. What's left of these brands in 2025 is completely detached from their heritage. They live on as budget quartz labels being sold on sites like Amazon, leaving people like us to chase after the vintage mechanicals and having to find out where it all went wrong along the way. Alright guys, that was a whole lot of fun looking and learning about all these different brands. If you enjoyed and you want to see more just like this one, click the videos on your screen. Otherwise, subscribe on your way out, and I will see you in the next one. What's going on, everyone? Now we have a good one here today. Alright, so let's see what we got here.